I am Mark Stewart Greenstein, candidate for governor of Connecticut. I am taping this before headed to DC, and this is about DC and really about the relationship between the federal government and the state of Connecticut. I want to enhance the relationship by drawing back to the better way. The better way, which was envisioned in 1787, and for most of the first 150 years of our republic, respected, that federalism meant the federal government has very few powers over us. Article 1, Section 8 gave Congress 18 and only 18 powers: coining money, establishing a system of weights and measures, establishing post offices, raising navies and armies, and conducting their promotions. The Commerce Clause is it's actually 1/3 of one of those clauses. Let me give you that threesome. To conduct commerce among the states, among the Indian tribes, and between foreign countries and us. Now, logically, that kind of conduct is only between the leaders, okay? Congress never envisioned itself to be doing business within tribes out in the Dakotas. It was never going to inject itself into the businesses in France, but it would be conducting itself with French leaders vis-a-vis U.S. leaders and Indian tribal leaders vis-a-vis maybe other Indian tribes and the DC government. And finally, the state leaders when they clashed or needed negotiations with other states. This was never intended to infect commerce within a state or even interstate, which one state's businesses might affect another. The courts in the 1930s distorted that, okay? Butler, Caroline Products, Parrish, and I think the worst of them, Wickard versus Filburn, which by the early 1940s seemed to establish in Congress's mind that there are really no limits on the power that it had to conduct interstate commerce. Now, interstate commerce can be found anywhere if the government wants to. We need to stand up to say that is not the interstate commerce, and your regulation over things like that does not apply here. We don't need your Obamacare. It's unconstitutional anyway. We don't need Common Core. This is not a power that Congress ever had to use. We can and should opt out of as many unconstitutional elements as possible. Connecticut needs the federal government for some things, and the constitutional things that it may not even need, we're stuck with, okay? I happen to think the constitutional things are good. This is protection. We need defense. This is courts. We need those. Patent protection. That's important. Maybe even environmental protection across the nation, although that's in itself not even codified in the Constitution. That really would take an amendment. Now, I would like to see an amendment and an Article 5 convention which has been proposed to assess and revise the Constitution for the first time since 1787. A convening of state representatives, I think, is worthy. Until then, if I am governor, I am going to work with the administration. I would like to have a reduction in our burdens to the federal government. Connecticut pays far more than it gets back. Connecticut dilutes itself when it sinks to government standards. You have in Betsy DeVos someone who would actually like states to elevate themselves. We can work with her. And her boss, he likes to negotiate. He'll make great deals. Good. We can work with them as well. I intend to be a liaison to the federal government for the sake of citizens opting out, and I take that to the tax code as well. We, as conscientious objectors, if we only pay for what we use, and a little bit more will give the government a little bit of its due, that's a good deal for everyone as well. You can expect that kind of negotiation from me starting in month 1. Thanks.